Hey, welcome to eTrekker. My name's Eric, and today I'm going to be doing some stealth camping. Today's stealth camp plan is right here under this train bridge. So we'll see how it goes. This is an active train bridge, and it's going to be a little exciting when trains go over, especially at night tonight. And, so we'll see what that's like. It should be fun. First thing I'm going to show you real quick, here's my bike setup. I've changed a few things up since the very long time ago that I did one of my last videos here. I've added a backpack with some stuff in it here that's just easier just to kind of keep track of and use instead of a duffel bag. So I kind of plan on trying to use that instead. I still got all my other gear down here. Today I don't have the tent because I just don't need it, since I'm just going to be, this is my tent right here, the cover of the train bridge. I got my cooler up here and various accessories and things on my bike that I'll talk about at some point. So anyway, let's go check out the train bridge here and try to come up with a spot where I'll be camping. I can tell you right off first that I'm definitely not going to be camping anywhere on this side over here, just due to brush and things like that are very well built up. But I'm thinking probably a good spot is right here. Let me get the camera on me and not bash my head against the top here. Probably somewhere back here would be the best. If I can get my cot to kind of try to level it out in this section here a little bit, that might work. And then I kind of have I don't know what you can say, kind of like a shelving up here, something like that. And I think that will work pretty well. This should be a pretty secluded area for the night. I don't imagine anybody for sure is going to be coming over here. I don't think. I'm surrounded pretty much by farmland and orchards and things like that in this area. The street that I came from is over. Let me get up here and I can kind of point things out a little bit. The street I came from is just up there. You can maybe just make out the crossings up there. And you can see there's like a splitter here, another street a little ways down there and whatnot. But traffic down here is going to be like super light. I can't imagine there'd be, like I said, really nobody coming over here tonight, I don't think. Surrounded by orchards. This orchard over here is getting watered. And this orchard is just an orchard, not getting watered right now, but just kind of there. Walnut orchards, a field up there, and nothing else around here really for the most part. So it should be pretty easy going, I think. And this is going to start what I hope is going to be kind of a several part series of stealth camping. So this is going to be video number 1. If all goes successful and great here, this will be, a train bridge stealth camp that I'm familiar with because I've been bike riding out in these general areas, and I came across this one day and, was like, no, that looks like it'd be a good area to do a stealth camp. And I'm going to try to find another train bridge for another video that would be more unknown to me. Just, basically me riding around trying to find a spot to do a camp and just hoping I can come across something. So I'll probably do 2 of those videos, this one, that one. And then I want to do other bridges as well. So, road bridges. I have one that I can get to, should be easy to go, easy to get to and easy going. And then 2 unknown ones. So basically in that case, it'd be I have an easy one, little traffic, a place that I know, should be easy to do. And then 2 that would be kind of harder. They'll be on busier roads, and that kind of thing. So that's my plan right now. I don't know if I'm sticking to it. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just making this up as I go. Okay, well, I think I got at least my bedding set up here, other than throwing a blanket and pillow over it, but I think that's going to work, I hope. The ground here isn't the most level to put this on, but let's find out real quick how it will work. Let's see. Oh, I think that's going to work just fine. Yeah, this will be good. All right, well, it is nearly 7 o'clock now, and I'm going to have myself some dinner. Nothing too exciting, just a sandwich. I don't bring a lot of stuff that I cook just because that means extra things I got to carry. You know, fire, which could be bad. There's a lot of dry brush, as you can see around here. So I just bring something cold to eat. So I'm not going to show you any of that because it's not going to be very exciting. But I will sit here and be Hobo Joe, eating my meal. And then if a train comes or anything like that, I'll definitely move away from here because this would be a really bad spot to be sitting. And I'll train the camera here onto whatever direction the train comes from, and I'll watch the train, I guess, with you in a closer view. That's safer. Hey, you're over there now. So I finished my dinner. It was just a dumb Subway sandwich, not sponsored by them. It's just, you know, something I can get to eat and it tastes good enough. But I am going to have a Dr. Pepper. Again, not sponsored by them, but good enough as well. I like to have a Dr. Pepper as kind of a celebratory, you know, stealth campy or any kind of campy thing. That's my excuse. Actually, I'm just going to have one anyway. Doesn't really matter. But once I'm done with this, I'll do a little walk around with you and we'll go do some exploring and see what's out there. Because I can tell you already, there's some stuff maybe over in, camera turn, maybe in this direction over here that might be interesting to check out, especially along the way down there. And who knows what's out here. I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun. So we'll check it out here in just a moment. Camera's crooked. Whatever. That's fine. See you in a moment. Well, let's do a little walk around. I apologize if sometimes the audio may be a little bit different. I'm trying to get used to having a little, you know, lavalier microphone. And I don't think on a couple of those just now it was actually connected. So, oops. Oh well. So let's head this way first and take a look what it looks like over here. Big old beam there. Something falling. I'm just knocking rocks all over the place. Good old graffiti over here. So I figure I'll start with this side showing. There's a lot of big rocks here for some reason. I wonder why. They're like, look at these here. These are massive. I wonder why all these are here. That side too. Huh. Maybe, well, I don't know. I actually don't know why these would be here. You can tell me if you know why. But let's go down these without falling, hopefully. And get to orchard ground level here. I guess if I want some water tonight, they'd be cold. I can get some from anywhere here. Nice orchard over here though. I don't think I want to go in there though and get all muddy. And get my feet all muddy and everything, so I'm gonna avoid that. Let's head back this direction and go back down here, up over the bridge, and then head out down that way and see what's over there. Here we are back again, up on the tracks, heading this direction here, and we're gonna see what's up here. My plan is just to kind of check things out and see how they look. This looks pretty beat up there. That's seen better days. Same as that right there. I wonder how often they have to replace these areas here. I'm sure they get constantly beat up. There's a couple spare tracks down there. Here you can see the difference between like a used track like this and then one that's been sitting for a while. So that obviously, you know, unused, but you can see how rusted it is compared to how smooth and clean this track is here, which gives you an indication that that is still in use. case you ever need to know. Little piece of wood. What was that? Something kind of scared me there for a second. I think there was some kind of noise coming from that thing over there that made me kind of jump. All right, this, according to what I could find, the structure appears to be a railroad signal bungalow or control bungalow. Typical housing, electronic equipment for signaling and switching. I guess that makes sense because there's a switching thing right here. So yeah, there you go. In case you ever need to know, that is what a, switcher signal station with a lot of S's in there looks like. Definitely not going to mess with that because I don't think anybody would like me if I mess with their signaling device. But here you can see like the switching. I guess that's like a manual one you can use there. They got big old mechanism here for doing the track switching. And here we got a little tower device, which I don't see any trains coming or anything right now. So I'm going to go ahead and climb up to the top of that and do a view from up there. Let's see what it looks like. Well, this here looks like it's platform number one of two. So let me get out here and show you what this looks like. Here you are. And there is a platform still above this, so I'm gonna go climb up too. But wow, this thing is super unsteady. It really moves around a whole lot. But here's a view from up here on platform number one of this little tower switcher device. And we'll go ahead and climb up to the second story here and see what the view from up there looks like. It'd be really neat to kind of see a train from standing up here, but at the same time, that would be very terrifying to have a train passing by, from here. Plus, I don't think they would like it. They'd probably for sure see me in here and be like, there's somebody, trespassing in this general area. And I don't know if they would call like the sheriff's department or something. They might. So I'm going to try to not be spotted up here, if a train comes through. So yeah, that's pretty neat. Next area I'm going to head to down in that direction there. I'm going to get off this very shaky tower and get on some solid ground again because this thing is sketchy. So I'll see you at the bottom. Hopefully not like quickly at the bottom, if you know what I mean. All right. Well, I made it without falling, so that's good. Well, let's continue the little tour I'm giving you and head in this direction here, see what else there is. See if I can not trip on any of those mechanisms here. That'd be great. And now you can see here is where the track does its splitting right here. I guess that would be like, a couple trains wanting to pass by each other, they can do it this area here if needed. Here's some more mechanism for kind of the, the train switching section and how the tracks split. I'll catch up with you once I see a structure right there, so I'll catch up with you once I'm up there. To stop real quick to show there are a couple more towers here. So these are the light towers, probably similar to, if you can see the light on down there, I don't know if you can, but there's a red light, two of them actually, but you might be able to see the one on the right side there, as a indicator whether it's, I'm guessing whether it's clear or not to go for the engineers. I'm no expert on trains, I like them, but I definitely don't know a whole lot about them. Though I did live next to train tracks for a good number of years, so, I'm familiar with seeing them anyway. So here we are. This actually looks like an old train section itself over here. I can actually, if you look down here, you can see some like old tracks. Like either this was used for maybe way back in the day, maybe for like water or something here. I'm guessing because they got these big, you know, kind of arms here for something. So this definitely was used for something back in the day, rail related, given that the tracks are right here. Some really old tracks have been sitting here for a very long time, it looks like. You know, like who knows how old these tracks are. These can be like 40, 50 years old maybe. Let's go over here. We'll check out the structure. Oh, we got a couple things of machinery over there too, maybe we can check out. I actually don't know if anybody like lives in this general area. There's structure over here. I don't know if that's a house or not, to be honest. Hopefully not. Well, if I start running away because I'm hearing gunshots, we're gonna get out of here real quick. I can tell you that right now. Here we got some old junk, old wood here. Here's a seat that's seen better days. I think I'll avoid sitting in that. Yeah, I don't know exactly what these would be for. So my guess would be something with maybe filling things up with water or something like that, some kind of refueling of some sorts. That would only be my guess. Here we got a toilet if you need one. Got a cart. Wheels on that actually might be kind of half decent still, but I don't think I need them. Pallets, old junk. Yeah, there's like right there. I'm gonna take a look. I think it just is abandoned, like an abandoned place. I hope. So I don't, again, if somebody comes out there yelling, I'm out of here, I'm leaving. I'm just gonna give the story that I'm just doing some filming of the railroad. If anybody asks, and peace out. We got a structure here. Let's go ahead and climb up this and take a look. Got some stuff that's been growing over here a little bit. Again, this is like pretty old. So I don't think like an AC unit like this would be that old. Maybe 80s era, I'm guessing. I don't know. Here we go, up top. So this is a gate. Oh, it actually still works too. You can see that gate opens. I mean, it gives you an idea of how old this probably is, because this gate at one time opened to something which now has a full-grown tree, you know, right here in the way. So whatever used to be here hasn't been in existence for and in use for a very long time, given that a tree has grown, you know, right there. Here we got like a valve. This would be for some water up here. Here's a gate on this side too. I'm gonna watch it over here. That would close for that side. I wonder if trains could come in on both sides here or something. If you got one over there, you know, this sits up real high, so I imagine there would have been a purpose for this gate on this side then. And then there you go, looking out there. Oh, you can actually see the tracks down there. There's tracks there. There's the one off to the side over here. And then over there, you can still see even more tracks going there. So there definitely was like a filling station here of some kind from back in the day. I'm gonna take a look and see if we can get down there and kind of get a glance inside. I don't know what's living in there, so I'm not gonna go too crazy with peeking inside. There's another gate right there. I'm actually surprised that these still can move, you know, like pretty well. Thought they'd all be rusted over at this point. Though obviously they don't go to anything anymore. There's a drinking fountain down there. That would be a bit more modern, because I can't imagine that being from, you know, no, I don't know. I don't know how old that would be. You know, if it would be 70s, 80s era, maybe. Yeah, here you can see tracks. Big old spring. And here's kind of an inside of a little building that this is here. At one point there was an antenna here, so probably for radio communication, maybe with the trains. Obviously, again, very grown over. All right, hoping there's not going to be anything flying out towards me. Hello? Nobody in here? Hopefully not. But you probably can't see too much back here. It's kind of dark. Not much to see, but there is, you know, some shelving back there. Looks like a little heater. This is maybe like, I don't know, some kind of electrical component. Probably like a pumping station. You can see where this can be turned on and off there. Here's your breaker box. Here's a really old school like desk here. That looks like it's from like the 40s or 50s, if I was guessing. And then kind of some shelving back here. Some of this area has some holes in it, so I'm watching my footing here and trying to be cautious I don't go through the floor. See, like there, just a hole going right through. And this kind of a window. It almost looks like a mirror, but actually I think, is that a mirror? I guess it is. I'm being dumb because I was looking at this thinking it was a window going through, but that's solid back there, so that's a mirror. I'm smart sometimes, I swear. All right. Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Have you seen a dog, like a boxer?
No. All right, I'm gonna try to be kind of quiet talking here. There's a guy that you might have saw that just came up to me. I didn't want to film him because he didn't want to be on camera or anything like that anyway. But he came up saying that he's looking for a lost dog. And we got to, chatting for a little bit, but he basically was just running me out, telling me to not be here. So I'm gonna head back and head out of here and do as he said. So again, hopefully nobody will come down here tonight where I'm trying to actually camp. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna be in any trouble here. That guy is still back there and it looks like he's on the phone now. I know he was watching me when I was leaving, so I'm gonna have to try to, well, I don't know if my stealth camp is gonna happen tonight or not, because he might be, wondering where I came from and why I'm here. So cool, well, stealth camp could be blown for the night, but I'm gonna try to hold out and see if I can get through the night without anybody showing up or kicking me off or anything like that. But he definitely looked like he was on the phone with somebody just now. Again, I'm not trying to film him or anything because trying to be respectful of him. He didn't want to be on camera. He asked me if I was filming at the time. I told him no, which I wasn't, and yeah, well, exciting. It's been a long time since I've done like a stealth camp, and I've already got some excitement with, being booted out of somewhere. So that's pretty cool. And then a peek back in that direction. Yeah, he's still standing there. He's still watching. I can see him. He's just standing there watching me. He's probably wondering where I'm going. So I don't know what I think I'm gonna do. Just keep walking right now. Maybe what I can get him to think is that I drove down here. I drove like a vehicle, stopped in the road, came down here to do some filming, and then I'm gonna leave for the night. Because he's like hard on watching me go down there. for sure. And like I said, he's on the field. Last I looked, where I can actually see him like clearly, he was on the phone with somebody. And he did tell me off camera again that he had some uncle in the area. He said stay away. And because I asked him, being like, is there anybody living there in that area that I was saying I wasn't sure about? And that's basically, he kind of told me, you know, just stay away from this area, you know. And I told him I'm doing some filming. I like old structures and things like that, doing some filming of old railroad structures and any kind of old buildings, things like that. That's what I like to do, which is true. I actually like doing that. But I didn't tell him that I'm going to be camping tonight, you know, in the area. So, yeah. So I think I'll catch up with you here a little bit later. My plan right now is just to keep walking. Like I said, I'm going to get down to the street there, and then I'm going to cut over and walk in the orchard. I'm going to have to get my feet probably a bit muddy, but I'm going to walk back that way to the bridge, see if I can get back. And then I hope he's not going to be like, you know, hanging around tonight or anything. What I might need to do is actually just kind of pack my stuff up and be, you know, like ready to go tonight in case I have to. Because the last thing I want is for him and a buddy or anyone coming up onto the bridge and I got a cot sitting up, you know, set up under there. Said I'm going to go ahead and break this down and leave maybe kind of the area for the time. I really want to do a stealth camp here tonight too. But yeah, maybe I can come back later on. But now I just be worried, you know, probably through the entire night, somebody's going to be coming back sometime in the night, just randomly coming down here. I don't know if you would or not, but who knows? I'm still not determined, or, you know, I'm undetermined on what I want to do right now. I'm not sure. So anyway, I got my bedding all put back for right now. I'm going to try to lay down here where if he stays kind of back where he was over there, he won't be able to see me over here. My story for the time is, you know, that I'm filming out here again. If he asks why I'm still in the area, now I'm hoping to catch a train before I leave, that I can, you know, catch the video of a train passing by. I can set the little camera up on a little, you know, area and watch it pass by. I'm still like hearing something over here. Like I said, I'm getting paranoid now, just hearing noises. But anyway, that's kind of my story right now, is that I'll have this all, my camera's set up. I want to catch a train passing by. And, you know, if he tells me, no, I don't want you around here at all, or he's got other people coming or something like that, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. So that's the story for right now. And as far as camping here, I'm scared to death to do it now, to be honest. But we'll see. I think maybe once it gets dark, I might be a little bit more confident, because, you know, once it's dark out here, if somebody has a flashlight on coming down, you know, they would be way out there and I would be able to see them. But I'd be a little worried about somebody coming out here like 2 in the morning or something. I'm asleep down here and somebody comes wandering in, you know, I don't know. So I don't know what's going to happen. I can tell you right now, I'm afraid of poking my head up over there where he can possibly see me. Well, I'm still undetermined what to do right now. So I just tried to show you down there. I mean, it looks clear, you know, but I don't want to go up on top of the tracks. You know, never underestimate the power of somebody who's got nothing better to do. I wouldn't be surprised if he's still like standing up there waiting. Hopefully not. But I mean, if he sees me like pick my head up or anything like that, then he's gonna for sure raise suspicion that somebody's down here. It is 8:15. Should be dark in about another half hour or so, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, like I said, again, I'm not totally sure what to do right now. I'd rather not be bouncing out of here, but I might be looking for another camping spot for the night. This may not be the safest place to be given the current situation. Kind of for the excitement of being here, you know, I kind of want to stick it out and see what happens, but at the same time I need to be like safe and try to be somewhat smart about this, if you can say that this is being smart at all, you know. So I don't know, what would you do in my situation? Would you stick it out, kind of wait and see what happens, or would you just be like, nope, I'm not even gonna risk it, I'm just gonna leave because I don't know if that dude's gonna come back? I don't know. There might be a train coming here pretty soon, which would be good if I can get up and do a film of that. That'd be neat. But this is a good time while I'm on break and I have kind of a clear mind right now, and I can talk to kind of do a little bit of a recap of, you know, exactly what happened here. So, and what's going on. So, yeah, as you saw earlier, I was filming over there, filming that, I'm gonna call it a water structure. I don't know exactly if that's what it is, but that's what it looked like it was. And I was inside of it. I was doing the filming of the inside. I came out, there was a guy standing there. He kind of comes up to me and says, you know, have you seen a dog, like a, you know, out here? And I said, no, I haven't seen anything like that. I haven't seen any dogs or anything like that. And, you know, I got to talking to him a little bit. You know, I told him where I came from down here, what I was doing. I was out just doing some filming of old structures, things like that. I told him, you know, if I see a dog or anything like that, where do you live? Like, what general area do you live in? So I can maybe come let you know. And at that point, he kind of said, you know, there is no dog. So I knew at that point he was just coming to check on me. He saw somebody out there and he was just checking to see what I was up to. So, you know, again, I was talking to him a little bit, and I asked him, could I be filming out there? Is that okay? And, you know, his kind of expression to me was not really. You know, he wanted me out of there. I can tell he wanted me to leave. So out of respect to him, I left and got out of there. I glanced back a couple of times. One time I looked back and he was just like, I don't know if it's on camera or not, you know, he was just kind of standing there, like staring in my direction, kind of had like arms crossed. It looked like looking towards me and just watching, you know. And then I kept going a little bit further down. I kind of did a thing like, I'm, you know, oh, I'm filming over here, like I'm filming the tracks and things, and look back again. And then he was on the phone with somebody, it looked like. So he was just kind of walking around, you know, pacing on the phone with who knows who. Or at least he had the presence of, I guess you can say, looking like he was on the phone. He could have been using that as kind of a thing to just stay in the area and watch me. And, you know, I got down even further to the point that I can just barely see him out there, you know, anymore. But he was still there. And this is like, by the time I'm like, you know, getting past the bridge or whatever at that point. So what I did is I kept walking because I wanted to give him the impression that I drove a vehicle out. I've been doing some, you know, I parked down the road down here in my truck or car or whatever, and I was walking back to it. I was going to leave. So, you know, I got close enough over there and I kind of cut down and, you know, stayed low ever since. That's been kind of my plan right now. So hopefully, as far as he thinks, you know, that I left, but I can't say for sure. I mean, it's totally possible he's going to come back here through the night and be looking down here and seeing if I'm here. He didn't make the remark, you know, I told him I'm doing a YouTube video, which is true, you know, doing that kind of filming for stuff. And, you know, he wasn't thinking I was just some sleazeball just coming out there to wreck the place or anything like that. So I think he realizes I was just somebody just doing some filming and that kind of thing. But, you know, part two to that, as you all know, and hopefully he didn't know, is that I am trying to do some camping out here as well. Well, now I'm getting difficult to see, but again, trying to stay kind of stealthy here, but we got a train coming. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up here. as I'm standing up here, here's looking back down the direction where the train just came from. Right now, camera's not going to be able to pick it up, but I'm looking for any kind of movement or anything, you know. If I see that guy still back there now, then I'm for sure leaving. Because if he was still out there like at this time, then he's on to me being up to something out here. But it's very dark down there. I don't see anything like moving. You know, I'm right now just trying to stand still, as if like say he was looking this way, maybe he wouldn't see anything. I do have a little red tiny flashing light on this camera here that I'm kind of trying to cover up with my finger as well. You know, it's tiny though. I don't think he'd be able to see it from like a distance. So as of right now, I don't feel, here, let me get down from here safely without falling. I try to be kind of quiet too. All right. Okay. Yeah, again, sorry, it's going to be kind of dark because I'm not going to turn any lights on or anything right now. But the plan, I think right now, is I'm still going to try to stay here for the night. Well, I know you're not going to be able to see anything other than maybe a silhouette of me, if even that, because I don't have any light on right now. But I am standing up on the tracks, pretty much right next to where I ate my dinner for the night. Right now, you're looking down towards where that guy was and that structure and stuff was. Completely dark down there, like pitch black. So nothing down there that you can see. I got to still be cautious because, again, if he was down there, he might see my screen on the camera here. So I'm now facing away from there with it facing towards me, kind of blocking, you know, to my back. But for now, I'm just up on the tracks, just seeing if anything is happening. Still good though. So I think at this point, you know, I'll just kind of wait around for the night and see how it goes. I don't really have much else to report to you right now. I really want to do a campfire tonight, but as of right now, I think that'd be a really bad idea. Okay, you can just barely see me, I'm sure. So what I'm going to attempt to do now is set the cot back up. Same spot that I had it before, and, you know, go from there. Well, okay, bed's all set back up here, kinda, as you can see. So this is the same spot I was before. I got my backpack here, and then my bike is just right down here still. I may want to turn it around just so the only way I'm really going to be able to get out is in that direction there. So, yeah. I mean, this is another reason I got a backpack instead of using that old duffel bag that I had before. Because if something like this happens and I need to leave quickly, I want to, you know, not have to leave everything behind. So if I have to, I can grab this, I can throw it on my back, leave some of this stuff behind, no big deal, and, you know, get on my bike and get out. You know, if it came right down to it. So hopefully tonight won't be that night to test that theory and see how that works. Well, it is about 10:30 now, and I think I'm going to head to bed, and a little bit sooner than I wanted to, but, you know, given circumstances, I think I want to get to bed early and get out of here early if I can. Nothing going on right now. I've stepped up on the tracks a couple of times. I haven't seen anything, so as far as I know, I think I'm in the clear. So yeah, I'm going to go to sleep, and next time I'll catch up with you. I'm going to hopefully wake up and hear a train come in, then film my reaction as we, you know, sit under the bridge and have a train pass over of several tons. So that should be fun. Yeah, I'll catch you once I hear something coming. was a train that just went over. I barely caught it. I wasn't really asleep, but I was just kind of laying there, and I think I was almost asleep. And, you know, suddenly I heard a train horn and jumped up real quick, tried to catch it. So looked like I did. That was really intense and very windy and very noisy. Well, I made it through the night, and it is currently 6 in the morning right now. So good morning, and it's way earlier than I want to be. Looking in that direction right now, I don't see anybody, so that's good. But you might see there's a train coming down here, so I'm gonna have one more kind of, I guess you could say, reaction video of me under the bridge as the train passes over. And then after that, I'm out of here. I'm gonna leave because I want to be out of here early. So considering everything last night, I slept pretty well. My bed was sitting right down here, and you know, it worked well enough. It was in the open, so I had some bugs, mosquitoes and things like that were flying around me. I can hear them. I think I had a skunk come by at one time last night. I think it got up to about like this area here. Like it was actually really close, and it was, you know, I was like, go away. Go away! You know, I'm trying to not yell at it, throw things. I didn't want to scare it, but yeah. All right, so we're under the train bridge now. We're gonna stay here, and the train's approaching. All right, here it comes. All right, pass it over right now. Okay, I'll try to kind of hold the camera out to see. I can actually see the whole bridge moving up and down. I can feel it, like the weight of the train pushing on it. All right, one final train before I leave this stealth camp area. Well, that was a success. I almost thought I was gonna have to bail on that one, but you know, I ended up sticking it out and made it. So that's good, because I already have one stealth that I already had to fail on that I do want to get back to at some point. So anyway, well, thanks for joining me on this. Next time, I hope to do at least one more train bridge, and then after that, like I said, I'm going to move to like, you know, regular roadway bridges and see how those work out. So I don't know, this one was kind of exciting. It was pretty fun, but thanks again, and I'll see you next time.